and welcome to Face to Face with me. I'm Daisy Anwar, a program that brings the world to your screen and where we meet people who make a difference to our lives. And you can also follow this program live at on 105.8 FM Light FM Radio, Jakarta. In this episode, I take you to meet His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso, the spiritual leader for the Tibetan government in exile, whom I met in Dharamsala, a town in north of India where the Dalai Lama has been living for over 50 years. His message of love, peace, religious harmony and other basic human values have been spread widely around the world and has been an inspiration to many people. So, in this episode, join me in my exclusive interview with this charismatic leader, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, as well as to get to know more about life of Tibetans living in exile. Here on Face to Face with Daisy Anwar. To get to Dharamsala, the easiest way is to fly from New Delhi, India to Kangra, a district 15 kilometers away or around 1 hour drive from Dharamsala. Welcome to Kangra. Why is it called Kangra? At the airport, my traveling companion and guide, photographer Rio Helmi, has his Buddhist patience tested as we negotiate the trip with the driver of the car.
No, I know. Yeah, here, look, here's the road, yeah? It's Temple Road, come here. That's Baksu.
Baksunag.
No, not Baksunag, hotel.
Hotel Baksu.
Acha,
I am not wrong, you are not wrong.
No, nobody wrong. Oh. Hotel Baksu.
Problem solved.
600. Okay.
Acha,
A little bit of misunderstanding. Welcome. He thought we were going really far away, but we're only going 2 kilometers. And Rio was already about to lose his temper. Ooh. Packed into our car, the drive to Dharamsala is an exciting journey. The road is small and rather steep. The mountainous area along the road creates a breathtaking view, and the air has a pleasant cool tinge of winter. Foremost in our minds, however, is the thought of meeting the Dalai Lama, practically the most well-known face and name on this planet. And I was grateful to Rio for securing an interview with His Holiness at his residence in Dharamsala, where he has been living since his exile from Tibet in 1959. Dharamsala is divided into 2 areas, Upper Dharamsala, also known as MacLeod Ganj, and Lower Dharamsala, which is more like the commercial area of the town. While inhabitants of Lower Dharamsala are almost all Indians, MacLeod Ganj is primarily a Tibetan area. MacLeod Ganj takes its name from David MacLeod, Lieutenant Governor of Punjab during the British rule in India. It is also known as the capital of the central administration of Tibet, a Tibetan government in exile led by His Holiness the current and 14th Dalai Lama, who came here to seek refuge in 1959. This place is also a charming little town, full of life and full of activities and attracting all sorts of visitors and tourists from all around the world who come here to study Buddhism and Tibet and also to enjoy the unique culture of what is known as Little Lhasa. In colonial times, Dharamsala was a popular summer escape for British people working in Delhi since the middle of the 19th century. Being at a higher elevation, the 29-kilometer square area is somewhat cooler and more pleasant than most other areas in India. 1950s, the Prime Minister of India at the time, Jawaharlal Nehru, allowed the Dalai Lama and his followers to settle in McLeod-Ganj, where they eventually established the Tibetan government in exile. Over the years, the little town grew to become the center of government, culture and spirituality for Tibetans living in exile. Here there are Tibetan monasteries, temples, restaurants, shops and schools, as well as government offices. Here is where Tibetans preserve their language, culture and religion. A unique oasis of Buddhism in India, Dharamsala is a source of fascination to spiritual visitors and also one of India's popular tourist destinations, not only for the Tibetan culture, but also for its beauty and the challenging trekking trails.
All 6 billion beings, exactly the same, no differences.
People see you as someone special, as a spiritual leader, as someone that we look up to. Who are you exactly?
Pond's Flawless White membantu menyamarkan noda hitam, kulit tampak lebih putih bersih hanya dalam 7 hari. Menangkan 1000 kalung berlian dengan menjawab pertanyaan berikut.
Anak saya akan menjadi pianis besar nanti. Quaker Oats yang kaya serat larut terbukti membantu menurunkan kolesterol hingga membuat saya meraih impian.
Ini cara saya menjaga jantung saya dan jantung hati kami. Quaker Oats, cintai hidup, cintai jantung.
A lot of people attending today's ceremony. Wow. So, who is the Dalai Lama? His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama is both the head of state and the spiritual leader of Tibet. At the age of 2, he was recognized as the reincarnation of the 13th Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lamas are believed to be the manifestation of Bodhisattva of compassion and the patron saint of Tibet. The Bodhisattvas are enlightened beings who have postponed their nirvanas and chosen to take rebirth to serve humanity. The ceremony attracts not only Tibetans living in Dharamsala, but also many foreign visitors coming to watch and experience the highly traditional, spiritual and moving event. His Holiness Tenzin Gyatso was born in 1935 to a farming and horse trading family with birth name Lamo Thondo. Currently, His Holiness the Dalai Lama is inside conducting a ceremony commemorating the 20th anniversary of the death of the 10th Panchen Lama and to offer prayers for his long life. Prayer wheels. He's hoping all my prayers will be answered. I'm praying that I'll be able to meet the Dalai Lama. Let's see whether I can have my prayer come true. Well, it seems that my prayer is coming true. I'm invited to meet and interview His Holiness himself at his residence and modest palace. This is the place where the Dalai Lama receives guests and also confers with the Prime Minister. Your Holiness, thank you very much for receiving us here. It's a great honor and a great pleasure for us to be here. I mean, so many people want to come and see you, and I saw the ceremony yesterday and it was very moving. But just out of curiosity, how do you feel about people coming from all over the world wanting to see you and hear you speak?
My basic, belief is we are the same human being. Over 6 billion human beings, we are the same. Differences in the religious field, or difference of nationality, or races, or social background. Some are educated, some are uneducated, some are poor, some are rich. These are secondary, not important. Important is we are same human being. You have 2 eyes, 1 nose, me too. And according to the scientists, now brain is concerned, all 6 billion human beings exactly the same, no differences. Due to color or due to races, no differences. So that, therefore, whenever I go or meet people, I always look on that level. No differences, no barrier. Of course, language barrier there. These are on secondary level. So therefore, whoever come to see me, I just feel, oh, another human being come. I'm a human being.
But people don't see you. People see you as someone special, as a spiritual leader, as someone that we look up to. But how do you, who are you exactly?
Then that is secondary level, yes. I'm, as far as the religious faith is concerned, I'm Buddhist. The racial viewpoint, I'm Asian, I'm Tibetan, like that. Within Tibetan, I'm Amdo, from another sort of northeast part of Tibet, not from central Tibet. So, on secondary level, there are so many differences. Then I think on human level, maybe, now I'm a person whose age now already more than 74.
74 years old.
And then in my life, there are a lot of trouble, a lot of problems. So due to these factors, I may have some different kind of experiences. And all through these difficulties, I never lost my hope and my faith, sort of my self-confidence. So on that level, sometimes it's my experience, little way, some benefit to some people who are similar sort of experience of difficulties. And in such case, it's in my experience, some of my sort of experience, maybe some useful to such people. So, and then all these period, I learned one thing, that is more compassionate mind, compassionate attitude.
What does it mean?
Compassion or sense of concern of well-being of other, and particularly so-called our enemy. Towards enemy, if you keep your warm feeling, sense of concern of their well-being, that's the ultimate source of our inner peace. It is very, very relevant. We should have the concept of several religions, several truth. Destroy that. Force brings fear Fear brings anger. Anger brings hatred, then violence.
Krim Anti-Aging, pemenang penghargaan terkemuka.
Krim anti-aging jutaan rupiah, saya tinggalin. Begitu umur 30, saya pilih yang terbaik, Pond's Age Miracle. Temanku yang rekomen, cocok banget, yang super mahal. Lupain deh.
Pembaca Bazar memilih Pond's Age Miracle sebagai krim anti-aging pilihan mereka.
Di saat Anda mengakhiri segala rutinitas, kami tak pernah henti hadirkan berita dan informasi. Kompilasi berita utama nasional dan mancanegara kami sajikan sebagai arahan Anda memulai aktivitas esok hari. Metro Malam, setiap hari jam 12 malam.
Right there on the thing, it says 50% of the Tibetans will be there.
Tibetan culture is kept alive at the Nobulinka Institute, located at Sitpur, just a little outside of Dharamsala. So this is Dharamsala proper, right?
It's low Dharamsala, yeah. Dharamsala proper.
So we're going to enter the Nobulinka Institute, and this is a place where they try to preserve the culture, the heritage of the Tibet, and this is where they train people so that they remember where they originally come from. The Nobulinka Institute Dharamsala was founded in 1988 by the present 14th Dalai Lama and the Department of Religion and Culture of the Central Tibetan Administration. It derives its name from the Dalai Lama's summer residence, the Nobulinka in Lhasa, Tibet, which is built also as an institute of Tibetan arts and sciences by the 7th Dalai Lama in 1754. The institute houses an art center, an academy of Tibetan culture, literary and cultural research center, library, as well as a doll museum and temple.
This is a Thangka painting. It's a Thangka painting workshop, and the Thangka we're using the colors. So it's natural ones. It's made with the help of some crushed stones and some from the herbs and plants. For mixing this color with the water and a little bit amount with the glue.
Nobulinka's primary effort to preserve the Tibetan culture is centered on the visual arts, such as through the Thangka painting, used by Tibetan Buddhist practitioners to help them develop a close relationship with a meditational deity. The Thangka fabric is mostly made of silk, which has also been around for many centuries in Tibet. This fabric Thangka, or known as silk Thangka, is constructed of hundreds of hand-cut pieces of silk and brocades that require many months of dedicated work. The arts of sculpting and woodwork are also taught here in the Nobulinka Art Center. Students learn the basics of Tibetan traditional arts and crafts to create Tibetan-style sculpture, artworks and architecture. In this post-9/11 world, where countries and peoples are becoming more polarized over religion, and where religion itself is becoming a source of conflict and violence, the Dalai Lama has his own views concerning religion that focuses more on the shared values of us as human beings living on the same planet. But the reality of this 6 billion of us human beings who are supposed to be the same, we're supposed to love each other, and yet we see the opposite. We see conflicts, especially because of religions. We see more people getting polarized over religious issues, for example. What are your views on religion?
That's exactly. We too much emphasis importance of secondary differences, forgetting the basic level. That's a problem. Yes, we have different religion, different nationality, different political system or economic system. These are secondary. When we have some sort of conflict in this level, we must remember we are same human being. Then these problems can solve human way, peaceful way.
But do you think people are getting more harmonious in terms of religions, or are they actually having more conflicts because of religions these days?
It is really unfortunate in human history. I think more than 1,000 years. A number of conflicts happen due to different religious faith. I think the real cause of these conflicts, I think not religion, but power, money, or personal sort of differences. And then manipulate name of religion. Once name of religion involved, the religious faith very much related with emotion. So once we touch human emotion, then we can manipulate more effectively. Some conflict, not due to religion, but other interest, economy interest or power interest like that. Then some cases, I think, due to different religious faith. Now here, the concept of one religion, one truth. You see, each religion is emphasis. One's own religion is the only truth, only religion. So then other religion consider negative. So in ancient time, that kind of attitude, okay, doesn't matter. In your own area, just consider one truth, one religion, and you follow your own religion faithfully. So therefore, now today, we are 21st century. We are not in 6th century, 7th century, not like that. We are 21st century. So whole world, firstly, because of population, and secondly, because of technology and economy, global economy. So we very much now interrelated, interconnected. That's today's reality. So therefore, now, according to today's reality, it is very, very relevant that we should have the concept of several religion, several truth. On that basis, we can develop genuine harmony between different religious traditions. As one's own case, one truth, concept of one truth, one religion is necessary because of keeping your own faith towards your own religion. However, in the terms of community or terms of humanity, there are so many different religious traditions. We must accept that. That's a reality. So, the several truth, several religion, they are, whether we like it or not. It is truth, it is reality. So we must be a realistic person. So we must accept the reality.
So you're optimistic that we can achieve religious harmony?
Yes, yes, yes. So the later part of 20th century, I think much more healthier. Some conflict here and there, that is quite natural. It will remain. I think whole this 21st century, maybe remain few conflict here and there. But basically, I think the world becoming much more safer, much better.
You're very optimistic.
Still, you see, we need more effort.
How?
Like your sort of own sort of the television, or say the company, media people have very, very important role to sort of, to educate people. The violence is wrong method, totally wrong method. Why? Violence can control body, but not mind or emotion. So my main point is, you see, force, the very nature of using force is just to control others' body, not mind. mind change only through understanding, dialogue, respect, compassion, and spirit of brotherhood, sisterhood. Then you can change our mind. That's the only way. So using force, destroy that. Force brings fear. Fear brings anger. Anger brings hatred. Then violence. And then secondly, violent method, unpredictable. Once you start, although your intention is use limited violence, but once you committed that, unpredictable. It easily can be violent, out of control.
So do you see science and religion converging?
Respect all religion. No preference, this religion or that religion.
Pond's Flawless White membantu menyamarkan noda hitam, kulit tampak lebih putih bersih hanya dalam 7 hari. Menangkan 1000 kalung berlian dengan menjawab pertanyaan berikut.
Guna mewujudkan kematangan demokrasi melalui Gerakan Restorasi Indonesia, Nasional Demokrat menggelar Deklarasi Nasional Demokrat Sumatera Utara. Dimeriahkan oleh parade akbar, marching band, barongsai, pencak silat, serta pertunjukan seni rakyat lainnya. Hadiri dan saksikan live event Deklarasi Nasional Demokrat Sumatera Utara, Senin 28 Juni, jam 1:30 siang.
Our world is currently facing many environmental problems and threats caused by climate change. The Dalai Lama acknowledges that he's not an expert on environmental issues. However, he does feel that we can take better care of our Earth if countries don't put their own interests first before that of our planet. And one of the major problems that we're facing at the moment is, I mean, you mentioned about us being in a family on the same planet, but we don't even see the same way on how to take care of this planet. For example, the dialogue, the climate change conference, it's not very satisfactory. So how do you see the way we treat our planet?
Yes, again, you see, they consider the secondary sort of interests more important. Now, so the national interest is the first, then global interest second. So these things happen. The first, the summit, an Earth Summit, took place. At that time, I also there. So it is very clear. Each leader is emphasis their national interest first. But compared that period, I think the global, the government level, I think taking more seriousness about this global issue, the global warming issue, global warming issue. It is quite encouraging, but still they have to sort of consider their national interest more important.
But how should we take better care? How should we take better care of our planet, of our environment?
I'm not an expert. I have sort of full conviction. It is very important, a very serious matter. So it is a matter of the interest for entire 6 billion human beings, not only human beings, but entire sort of sentient being on this planet. So it is very, very serious.
But we've seen also tsunamis.
Yes.
Lots of huge natural disasters on a sort of biblical scale. And there are many films now coming out that plays on this idea of the apocalypse.
Recently I met some people, they asked me, 2012.
Yes.
There could be some disaster. So some people ask me, and then I just answer, I don't think. No. I think at least another few centuries we remain. While we're complaining something, we still remain another few centuries, there's no doubt. After a few thousand years, I don't know. That I don't know. Nobody knows.
But there is no...
Only God knows, or Allah knows. Otherwise, nobody knows. So anyway, basically, I'm optimistic. I think we, humanity, because in 20th century, we learned many new experiences through many difficult sort of experiences. 20th century, over 200 million human beings killed, according to those experts, they say. And a lot of disasters, you see, man-made disaster. So as a result, we human beings, I believe, becoming more mature. So now, a lot of people, you see, thinking more holistic way. So that's, and also now, among the scientists, and particularly medical scientists, number of them now begin to realize peace of mind.
So do you see science and religion converging, or at least coming to some understanding?
I think not necessarily use the word of religion, but some kind of
maybe spirituality.
Spirituality, yes. That's, yes, now developing. Showing interest about compassion, these things, through training.
What about ethics, teaching people ethics?
As I mentioned before, there are people who have not much interest about religion. So these also, human beings, they also want inner peace. So we must find ways and means to bring inner peace in these non-believer people. So the method or ways to increase or to promote these ethics also should be universal way. So if we based on religion, then it cannot be universal. There are so many different religions.
So it should be based on spirituality?
Spirituality, usually I call a secular way. When I say, I must explain here, when I use the word of secularism, according to Indian, that means respect all religion, no preference, this religion or that religion. And also, you see, they respect to non-believer. And then, on that basis, and use our common sense, common experience, and scientific findings, and to educate importance of moral ethics. That's the source of inner peace, and carry our life more truthful, more honest, transparent. In order to gain genuine satisfaction, your life should be meaningful.
Are you yourself happy? Do you feel happy?
Krim Anti-Aging, pemenang penghargaan terkemuka.
Krim anti-aging jutaan rupiah, saya tinggalin. Begitu umur 30, saya pilih yang terbaik, Pond's Age Miracle. Temanku yang rekomen, cocok banget, yang super mahal. Lupain deh.
Pembaca bazar memilih Pond's Age Miracle sebagai krim anti-aging pilihan mereka.
Gayus waktu di Singapura juga sempat menyentil perusahaan bakri.
Memang menyebut, tidak hanya saja menyebut nama-nama perusahaannya, perantara yang menghubungkan antara Gayus dengan perusahaan tersebut.
Dia tidak bermain sendirian.
Ada 4 kelompok yang harus dipanggil. Yang pertama, manajemen dari wajib pajak. Kedua adalah perantara. Ketiga ada jabat Direktur Jenderal Pajak. Keempat, pengadilan pajak.
Berapa fee yang diterima oleh Gayus?
Ya, yang jelas tidak kecil lah ya. Dan biarkan penyidik nanti ya.
Ada nggak Pak $1 juta gitu Pak per kasus?
to the river. No, said the mayor. I have no need to give you. Give me the money, said the pirate.
Today I have a chance to spend some time with Tibetan school children from the Tibetan Children's Village School in Lower Dharamsala. Here, the children are taught a combination of modern education along with a close understanding and appreciation of the rich culture and historical heritage of Tibet that would give them a sense of national identity. The school began as a nursery for Tibetan refugee children back in the early 1960s to provide basic care for the very young. But by 1984, it grew into a formal school, serving education for the thousands of Tibetan children living in exile, funded by various donors. With the arrival of more refugees